Hello Digidestins, this is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today I'm bringing you the next contestant winner, 5 green decks for your BT5 format. So again guys, as we know, I do put up the poll, you guys decide on what's coming up. We only have a little bit more time before BT5 drops, so guys, let's get all hyped and all excited for the fact of the matter is we do have BT5 coming. So guys, let's dive right into these green decks and see where it can take us. First deck we're going to talk about is none other than OTK Green. So OTK Green Grand Quagamon is a really phenomenal deck, especially since it starts out in this format as like this powerhouse. And it's going to continue because of the Palmon promo being able to produce jamming. It's just nasty, and sometimes it just does enough that your opponent can't interact or stop you. So let's go over it. First, we play one Argomon. So when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, gain 1 memory. Again, most of the time you will be Digibursting this away. So again, it's just there for the weaker like blockers or anything like that. Again, just to be protective. Next, we play the new Yokomon. Yokomon is when this card is trashed due to activation of your Digimon's Digiburst, one of your Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. So you kind of see what happens here is that now we can use Grand Quagamon to swing in at 13, and most of the time that's just enough to get through a few security checks and just stabilize a game state that your opponent doesn't want you to have. Again, because there are going to be times that you do not have Palmon underneath to make the main play you want to. So again, we play 4 Gabumon, 4 2-drop Argomon. Again, cheap evolutions to be cheated in or hard casted. We can go into a Rookie Rush style attack assault on your opponent. Again, that's why we play it. Next, here is the Bread and Butter Palmon. So when this card is trashed due to the activation of this Digimon's Digiburst, one of your Digimon gains jamming. So being able to gain jamming on our Grand Quagamon means it can swing in 3 attacks with no problem, except for options killing it, and then you just go right into Chaosmon and clear out whatever's left. Next, we do have Tenamon. So on play, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a green Digimon card, add it to your hand. Otherwise, place it at the bottom of your deck. Really nice, really powerful. Again, being able to plus off of this because there's only one color and there are a couple options and tamers that don't really trigger the draw. It does help out in the long run. We play the Vanilla Vegemon because again, it's a 4 cost and it's a 1 cost evolution. Next, we do play Weedmon. So it's another 4 cost, 1 cost evolution. Again, Weedmon has a really nice inheritable, so when this Digimon triggers Digiburst, trash this card, gain 1 memory. So it's, again, here's the real wording. So when this card is trashed due to the activation of this Digimon's Digiburst, gain 1 memory. Again, being able to, let's say you go into Nidhogg and now it costs you 1 less, so again it only costs you 4 to evolve. Really nice to be able to blast out, or let's say you hit a potential into a Nidhogg, you gain 1 memory out of that deal and it's just worth it. Again, now you have an extra memory to play something else. Next, we play the HerculesKabuterimon because HerculesKabuterimon is really good. A 1 cost evolution. All our champion line is basically 1 cost evolution, now making it super cheap to play into it. Next, we have Argomon. Well, the fact of the matter is it's still good for its Digisorption, but when attacking, you may play a level 3 Digimon card from your hand suspended without paying its memory cost. So what's really nice about that is the fact of the matter is being able to cheat in Digimon builds us a wide board, especially against security control. Again, we need to go wider than they allow us. That's our end goal, is just to build an extremely wide board. Next, we do have Cherrymon, so blocker, of course, it is just fantastic. Next, we do play Blossomon. For the fact of the matter, Blossomon is Blossomon, being able to Digizorb and pretty much come out for free and then being able to digivolve onto our bigger guys for that 3 memory that your opponent gives you. It just really helps out. Next, we do play Lilamon. Lilamon is Digiburst 2 to then suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Really nice to help against controlling boards that you might need to poke into just to clear out. And then when attacking, you may have if you have a tamer, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon just to get that extra poke in that you need. Next, here is Nidhogg. Nidhogg is still fantastic going into this format because, again, BT5, again, Rookie Rush is still a thing. Lord Nightmon produces a lot of stuff. Again, being able to Nidhogg wipe is just super important. When Digivolving, Digiburst 4, suspend all your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 or less DP. Nice. But then place all your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. Really nice. Usually your opponent will put the order, but again, you can choose what order you want them to get their cards in. Remember that. Next, main fate, we have Grand Quagamon, the OTK King. The reason why this deck goes off, because again, Digiburst 2, not just once per turn. So if you have multiple Grand Quagamons, you could definitely bloat up a bunch of security checks in one Grand Quagamon. Swing in if it has jamming, then none of their mons matter. And it's only their options that have to matter. And usually it's Gaia Force that you have to worry about. Outside of that, because Grand Quagamon is rested, again, it clears out the security like it doesn't. It's like its job. So again, being able to have the jamming from the Palmon and then Monochrome and then Yokomon, giving it an extra 2,000 DP, becoming a 13k attacker. Even though it doesn't matter that it's 13, it does help out. Next, we do have Chaosmon. So Chaosmon is the reason why this deck also goes off as well. So piercing, obviously, and then when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, then it can attack your opponent's Digimon. This effect allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon as well. So being able to swing in and get those extra pokes, and especially when you can do it with 3 security checks, why would you not be excited for this? Because again, Grand Quagamon is a blanket effect. It literally states on that card's every evolution and goes up now, or anything like that for the rest of the game, even if it gets de-digivolved, which it can't, will swing in for those extra security attacks, because of the fact of the matter is it did have it. So hidden potential is really nice in this deck, because the next time you would digivolve one of your green Digimon this turn, you may suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the cost by 5. You can use this with Chaosmon, be able to force our opponent into these situations that they're not going to like. Next, we do play 2 Needle Sprays. This Needle Spray is a slightly better Flower Cannon. Yes, it's weird, because again, being able to add it to hand is really nice. By the main effect, if it's revealed in security, at least getting twice out of it is really nice. But again, it also suspends one of your opponent's Digimon. Again, it doesn't matter if it has blocker though. That's the main thing, because Flower Cannon always cared about blocker on the flip. Next, we do have Mimi. So again, being able to reset ourselves back to 3 every single time they try to choke us is really nice. And then if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you may suspend this tamer, attach one Digimon card from your Digi Eggs, or move one of those Digitamas out of your breeding area for free, and clearing up and getting you multiple cards a turn. Really does help out in the long run. So guys, definitely, hopefully, we're going to dive into the next deck. So the next deck we have is Rafflesimon with Nidhogg, which is really powerful and very devastating. Again, this deck is a very controlly deck that spams out. We'll talk about Rafflesimon in a minute, but again, it's pretty much the evolution of the, Rosemon. So again, being able to be final form is just amazing. Next, we have Minamon is the starter, one of the starters, because if it attacks one of your opponent's Digimon, it gains 1000 DP. Again, also Yokomon's in here, for the fact is when this card is trashed due to the activation of this Digimon's Digiburst, one of your Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. Again, this does help out, because I'm not joking. Even I love the Yokomon. It's the card we've needed for a while. I'm not joking. We wanted this card. Again, we also have Goblinmon. Goblinmon is just in there for the 2 drops. We play 2 Terriermon to choke out Hammer Sparks and our loops from our good friend, if you know what I mean, the Lilithmon loop. So again, choking them out is super important. Next, we do play Terriermon Assistant. So Digiburst 1, trash 1 card of Evolution, which will be the baby. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a green Digimon, add it to your hand. Otherwise, play it at the bottom of your deck. Again, it does help out, especially with Monomons and stuff like that, and 1 Yokomon just to toss out, just to do it. You could just play Tenomon just to do the same thing without Digiburst. Palmon is on deletion. Place 1 Palmon from the trash to the bottom of one of your green evolutions. Really nasty because guess what you can do? Slip in when this Palmon dies, put it underneath like one of your Rafflesimon evolution lines, and just so that the Digiburst can keep going, and then you just play the Palmon. You'll keep putting Palmon when jamming underneath it. Really powerful, really neat combo. And again, most people don't see this coming. Next, we do have Vegemon for the fact of the matter. It's a 4 cost. And then we do have Weedmon because again, it's another 4 cost, 1 cost evolution. But when this Digimon that triggers, when it's trash due to the activation of Digiburst, gain 1 memory. That's really good. Next, we do play 3 Kabuterimon for the blockers at 1 cost. Again, we want to see our blockers. Next, we have Argomon for being Argomon. Argomon has the Digisorption 3, and then when attacking, you play 1 level 3 Digimon card from your hand, suspended without paying its memory cost. Really nice to cheat in some of these cards. Next, we do have Cherrymon. Again, blocker. Again, what's really nice, I forgot to mention that you could, if the Palmon dies, Palmon can go underneath Professor Terriermon, and then you can just try to draw for it and just keep cycling that kind of combo. Next, we have Blossomon in here for the Digisorption. Next, we do play Lilamon. Lilamon's really nice because Digiburst 2, suspending one of your opponent's Digimon. And then when attacking, you have a Tamer, suspend this opponent's Digimon. Again, really nice if you have the Tamer out. Next, we do play Mega Gargomon. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It doesn't unsuspend until your opponent's next phase. Again, it prevents them from restanding their lethal threats, and while your opponent has a suspended Digimon in play, he gains extra security attacks. So it's a win-win situation. Nidhogg is just here to clear out boards at rested, and then suspending all their 5Ks are just really nasty. Again, putting it at the bottom of their opponent's deck is really good. Here comes Rafflesimon. So Digiburst 2, it's a Mega Digimon that costs 3 to Digivolve on top of 5, but it can Digivolve on top of itself for 1 memory just to be able to do this thing. So Digiburst 2, all your Digimon gain plus 2000 DP. You could spam this if you have multiple of these, and you can just keep building it up. You can build a board with beefy attack numbers that your opponent has to deal with. So once returned, when your Digimon uses Digiburst, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the next turn. Again, really nice. You spam this, all the blockers get shut off, and then you can swing in for game, making your opponent extremely sad. Next, we do have Chaosmon in here for the unsuspend, and then it can attack one of your opponent's Digimon. This effect allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon. Being able to swing in and take out a few Mons and then take out your opponent's security is just really nasty. Next, hidden potential is the next time one of your green Digimon Digivolves this turn, you may suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the cost by 5. Again, any of these Megas will be a free cost. Take that into account. Needle Spray is Needle Spray, suspending Digimon, and then again, its main effect is allowing it to return to hand in security, but it also suspends one of your opponent's Digimon. Really nice. Next, we do play Mimi. Mimi is our bread and butter. If you have 2 or less memory, set your memory to 3. And then if you have a level 5 or higher Digimon in play, you may suspend this Tamer to hatch 1 Digi-Egg, or you can move in your breeding area out if you didn't move it out earlier. Or if you have double Mimi out, you can just do 2 evolutions in 1 turn. Again, really nice. Now we do have Mimi Izzy combo. So if your opponent has a suspended Digimon, gain 2 memory. Again, very likely with this deck. And then when you have a level 5 green attack, you may suspend this Tamer to reveal the top 3 cards. You can Digivolve the attacking Digimon into a level 6 from among them without paying its memory cost, boys and girls, remember. So your ultimates now have a shot at being able to swing in at bigger numbers, especially if it gets nasty and let's say you Digivolve into Nidhogg. Again, they lose their board. So guys, hopefully you like this deck. So next deck on our list is a HerculesKabuterimon from the trial deck with Rafflesimon, because Rafflesia and Kabuterimon kind of just was a match made in heaven for this, and I'm not even joking. I'll explain shortly as we go over it. First off, we do play one Budmon, because Budmon is when you have a Digiburst skill, it gets 1000 DP. Again, most of the time it is busted out, but Yokomon's in here to just deal with that. If it gets bursted out, you get one of your mons get plus 2000 DP, which is going to be your big guys. Next, you have Goblinmon in here for the cheap evolution. One Terriermon to shut down memory, Hammer Spark shenanigans, Jackeray shenanigans, just in there. Next, we do play the Terriermon Assistant, Digiburst 1. You may reveal the top card if it's a green Digimon, add it to your hand, otherwise put it at the bottom of the deck. We also play the Palmon with the other Palmon. But the fact of the matter is we can put it under our Terriermon, because again, why wouldn't we want to just keep getting free Digibursts out of plussing? Again, really nice being able to just multiple Digibursts. Next, we do have Vegiemon for being Vegiemon. We love the veggies. It's a cheap cost. Next, we have Woodmon being a decent blocker. I definitely put it in there. Weedmon is really good because again, if he's Digibursted out, you gain 1 memory. Really nice, really amazing. Kabuterimon's in here to be that 1 cost blocker. Argomon is in here for that cheap evolution of the Digisorption, playing itself for free as long as you rest them on. Doesn't matter which mon on your side, it just does it. And when attacking, you get to play a level 3 Digimon from your hand without paying its memory cost. Really nice, really powerful, very deadly. Next, we do have Cherrymon for being the blocker and the 2 cost. Next, we do have Blossomon in here for the fact of the matter, it has Digisorption, being able to rest mons, your own, and then Digivolve for pretty much free. Really does help out in the long run. Lilamon is Lilamon, so Digiburst 2 to spend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then when attacking, when your Tamer is suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon is suspended. Next is Nidhogg, being able to do Nidhogg things. Digibursting 4, all your opponent's Digimon with 5000 or less DP, then place all your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. Trash all Digi-Evolutions from those cards. Again, being able to put stuff underneath and then just being like laughing at your opponent for just trying to overlook you. Next, we do play Rafflesimon, because again, its Digiburst 2 is nuts. All your Digimon get plus 2000 DP. Again, this is not once per turn, so again, you can do this multiple times, and once per turn, when your Digimon uses Digiburst, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block. Really nice, because then you can start shutting off their blockers. And again, this mon can Digivolve on top of itself multiple times, because it only costs 1 evolution to do so. So again, if you have the memory to do it, just do it. Make your opponent cry. Next, here is the new Rosemon. So Digiburst 3, all your Digimon with Digiburst gain security +1 for the turn. So again, it's a little bit off-putting. It's not as strong as its sister, as Grand Quagamon, but being able to give all our mons security plus is just ridiculous. Especially when they can swing in for 2, and then they're just like sitting there crying in a corner because you just cleared out with jamming 2 of their securities just real easily. Next, we do play our HerculesKabuterimon, as I mentioned earlier. It's Digiburst 2 to spend one of our opponent's Digimon and swing in with Pierce. It's just nasty. Again, very powerful. We do play 2 Flower Cannons. Again, you can play Needle Spray. Again, it's all under how you feel, how you want to deal with it. Main phase, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and security, spend all your opponent's Digimon without blocker. Again, being able to clear out stuff. Again, a lot of decks start either playing only 4 to 6 blockers, so again, there's nothing to really worry about that. Hidden potential is still nuts. Being able to Digivolve for free by reducing the cost of 5 is just nuts. You get a free Nidhogg out of that deal. Next, we do play the Mimi, because Mimi is just so good. Being able to cheat in a Digimon from your racing area or to hatch another egg is just fantastic. Now, here comes a new card that people are probably laugh at when they first saw it, but she is really good. So, Yoshiru is return 1 Digi Egg from the trash to the bottom of your Digi deck. So being able to reuse Mimi, because again, after a certain point, you do run out of resources. And you got to hard play your rookies, and you don't want to do that unless you have to. When digivolving one of your Digimon into a card from your hand with Digiburst, you may suspend this tamer to reduce the cost by 1. Again, here's what's really nice. She can make it so that you're digivolving with Rafflesimon on top of itself or a level 6 only costs 0 and you get a free draw out of it. That's fantastic. Again, being able to not have to spend too much resources is fantastic. And again, guys, hopefully you like this deck. Let's dive into the next one on our list, boys and girls, is Ceresmon. I know this deck took a lot of back burner on BT4, especially because of the hits it took, but this deck is still devastating. Being able to rest your opponent's stuff to do your Digisorptions, now you can just start swinging in, especially in this format where you want to start controlling the board a little bit more, especially against like Lord Nightmon or anything like that. Being able to remove their threats slowly and surely just to keep them board small, so Lord Nightmon's only sitting at 12k. That's what your goal is at the end of the day. Again, you want to prevent your opponent from going crazy. Next, first off, we do play 4 Argomon because Argomon's still fantastic. We're not Digibursting, we're Digisorptioning in this deck, so we have to use our advantages. Minimon is in here to be Minimon. Again, we do have Goblinmons and Argomon. For the fact of the matter is, it's still a fantastic card. We do have Tenamon in here to reveal the top card of the deck. If it's a green Digimon, add it to your hand. Otherwise, you just place it at the bottom of your deck. Whoop-de-doo. Next, Palmon is if the attack on an opponent's Digimon, this Digimon gains 2000 DP. Again, giving these extra DP is to help us get into Lord Nightmon, swinging in, clearing it out, just dealing that final damage that you need to, because again, Lord Nightmon can be really beefy, and when it's beefy, it's a problem. Again, let's talk about Kabuterimon. Kabuterimon's in here for plus 1000 DP. We're trying to get over Lord Nightmon's inheritable skills. That is the end goal. Again, we want the extra 3000. This brings it up to 15. Most of the time you can clear out their little stuff or anything like that. Hopefully you get some major damage in this, browning points if you do. Digisorption 2 for our Argomon is just really to help with Ceresmon, resting your opponent's stuff and being able to swing into it. Next, we have Stingmon. Once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle and survives, gain that 1 memory. Boys and girls, being able to gain that extra memory does help out in the long run. Next, we do have Kabuterimon being Kabuterimon with its blocker. Again, being able to block and be a 1 cost is just fantastic. Next, we do play the level 5 Argomon. For the facts of the matter is, it's got Digisorption 3, rest, and then you get to play. Again, being able to cheat evolve is just fantastic for this deck, because Ceresmon takes advantage of it. Next, we have Rafflesimon. This card gets plus 1000 DP for each of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So again, not unsuspended, suspended Digimon. So again, if you are looking at Lord Nightmon, you want to have Palmon underneath a Kabuterimon, underneath a Rafflesimon, and then a Ceresmon. Being able to have this combo go off will help you in the long run, and even just having Minimon underneath it, that is like your perfect, I'm going to kill Lord Nightmon stance. Again, you need to kill Lord Nightmon if you want a chance against that deck. Next, we do have Blossomon. Again, Blossomon is a cheap evolution. Next, we do play Argomon that has Digisorption 3. For each of your opponent's suspended Digimon, it gets plus 1 security. Again, Lord Nightmon doesn't have too much in its name to worry about. Again, its highest DP is its Chaosmon. So again, if you for any reason, and I mean any reason, see again, that we can get our Kabuterimon underneath it with a Rafflesimon, it can swing in for 12. Again, it's not crazy high, but again, this is really nice. So actually, Rafflemon's for underneath Argomon. So Argomon can just swing into security, not worrying about the Chaosmon. Being able to not worry about the Chaosmon in strength and numbers just clears out the board, their security stack, because again, you could rest it all, swing in for the ultimate, and then boom, swing in for that final game piece. Again, that's why he's in here. Next, we have Ceresmon. For the fact is, again, it allows us to use our Digisorption for practically nothing. Again, you can also make it so that it is your opponent's Digimon. So again, you get this kind of control state. Next, we do play Mega Gargomon. So suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It doesn't unsuspend until your opponent's next unsuspend step. This is to help lock down Lord Nightmon or any big Digimon threat that they might have. And then while this Digimon is your opponent has a Digimon that is suspended, gain +1 security attack, being able to swing in. Again, comboing with the Kabuterimon and the Rapidmon. It's another great option. Next, we do have Argomon with Digisorption 2 to be a play cost of 2. So when Digivolving, suspend all your opponent's Tamers. All turns, all your opponent's Tamers cannot unsuspend. He's here to prevent any of those shenanigans with the Kairis, the Marcuses, the TKs, the Joes and Soras, anything that you might think that you can just gain a lot of stuff. Sorry, not TK. TK doesn't do anything like that. Whoop-de-doo. Next, we have Chaosmon in here to be Chaosmon. Being able to pierce through stuff and unsuspend this Digimon. Then it can attack your opponent's Digimon, clearing out a big piece. Again, there's where the power line comes in. Again, it clears out Lord Nightmon by himself most of the time. We have Hidden Potential because Hidden Potential is just too good to play. Next, we do play Royal Nuts. I know I just said Royal Nuts. Again, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Digisorption among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Security, just add it to your hand. Really nice because, again, let's just say you needed that Digisorption to rest their big guy. Well, congratulations, here is your shot. Next, we do play 2 Mimis because Mimi is just nuts. If you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. But again, being able to rest her, and again, it shuts down the green mirror a bit with that Argomon I was mentioning. Just prevents it from restanding, and now they don't have much other options. Guys, hopefully you like this deck profile. So, final deck profile, boys and girls. So again, let's talk about this. This is Rafflesimon Rosemon. So again, we have Tenamon and then Yokomon. Yokomon's in here to be Yokomon. So when this Digimon is trashed due to the activation of Digiburst, you may gain 1 memory. Really nice. Goblemon's in here to be Goblemon. Argomon's in here to be Argomon on 2 cost plays. Again, 7 of them is not bad. We do also play the Terriermon. For the fact of the matter is, revealing the top card because then we use Palmon to put itself underneath just to Digiburst again. Being able to cycle this a little bit gets ridiculous. Not even joking. Here's Tenamon to try us to draw advantage as well. Again, we like it. Next, we have Vegemon. For the fact is a 1 cost evolution and 4 cost play. Weedmon's the same thing, 4 cost, 1 evolution. Next is Kabuterimon, lose 2 memory. Oh yeah, Weedmon also has that nice inheritable Digiburst. When it's Digiburst, you gain 1 memory. Really nice because again, Rafflesimon will love that. Next we have Argomon being Argomon. Being able to play a level 3 Digimon card from your hand is just nuts. It just leaves your opponent like going like, what just happened? Next, we do play the Blossomon, Digisorption 3. Why not? Again, being able to Digiball for free is why we play this deck. Lilamon is in here for the Digiburst 2 to suspend 1 of our opponent's Digimon, and then when you have a Tamer, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Just what it is. Next, we do have Nidhogg. Nidhogg's being Nidhogg. Being able to put their level 5000 DP or less back at the bottom of the deck, or if they're already suspended, hey, congratulations, you just rewrote their whole turn. Resetting the board is just nasty. We have Rafflesimon. So Digiburst 2, all your Digimon gain plus 2000 DP for the turn, and your turn once per turn when your Digimon uses Digiburst, 1 of your opponent's Digimon can attack or block. Again, we can multiple stack this, prevent all their attackers and blockers. Next, we do play Rosemon. For when Digivolving, 1 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of their next turn. Again, being able to slow down their pace and their big guys down is just devastating to them. Chaos Volger Arm is in here, so activate the following effect twice, minus 7000 DP to 1 of them, and if he is deleted, gain 3 memory. Just nasty. Hidden Potential is in here to cheat in our anything really at the end of the day. Nidhoggs, our Volder Arms, just really to say that that's what we want to do with it. We do play Mimi because Mimi is awesome. If you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, suspend this tamer to hatch one of our Digimon in its breeding area, or you can move a level 3 to the battlefield. Next, we do play Takumi Abia because, again, we are going to have to worry about Rookie Rush still in this format. So when you Digivolve, you may suspend this tamer, trigger draw 1. Again, we can also do this with the Digisorption, being able to use Takumi Abia to draw us a card because we Digivolve. So our Digisorption becomes a Pot of Greed now, and that's punishing to our opponent. But also all turns, all level 3 Digimon, when attack, lose 1 memory. Again, it punishes us a little bit, but we don't care as much because, again, we're going to either be pushing out for lethal. So guys, let me know down in the comments what you think about these 5 decks. What was your favorite deck? And hopefully you vote on those polls, and I'll catch you in the next one.